Welcome back. My name is Brian, and in today's video we're going to be talking about using a plow plane. Now, a plow plane is a useful tool, hand tool, that allow us to create grooves in our woodworking. So here you can see our groove going along the grain in our side, and we could also create grooves along the face of the board. Now, these grooves are helpful for many types of things. One example of this is frame and panel construction. And so here you can see a frame that was made for a door, and on the end here you can see where the groove that I haven't covered up is still there. And this is helpful for many other examples if we're creating a groove for our woodworking to get other panels to set into as well. So if you're just getting your plow plane, one of the first things you'll want to do is sharpen the blade. And so to do that, we need to take the blade out, and that is done by removing these three knobs that hold the blade in place. We have one that holds the blade against the fence, one that holds the blade against the angle for the plane, and lastly we have one that is a depth adjustment. But if we loosen these bottom two, we can take out our blade and take it over to the sharpening station. This is our honing jig. If I turn it this way, you can get a better view of it. And this wider part of our honing jig is used to sharpen plane irons, whereas the center portion, you'll see here, can be used to sharpen our plow blade or chisels. To set the angle, I just use the manufacturer's guidelines for the stick out length, and that should correspond to an angle. Next step is to sharpen it on our diamond stones. Here we have a coarse, medium, and fine, and we put a little water on there to begin with. And we just use a few strokes, move around on our stone. Use our medium. And finally, we can use our fine. Probably should have clamped those down. Now we're going to rub this along the back here just to break the burr. And then we're ready to go cut. We're now ready to talk about adjustments. Our first adjustment is the fence. We can change how far over on our workpiece our cut is going to be by simply adjusting these fence locking knobs and moving our fence in and out. And once we get it to where we want it, we lock them down. Our second adjustment is used to set the blade depth. This is the blade depth below the skate down here. And so what we do is we loosen the lever cap, and then we turn this thumb screw up here, and this pushes the blade down past the skate. And what we want when looking down there, we want less than 1 millimeter. And so when we get about what we want, then we lock this down and we go to our final adjustment. Our third adjustment is used to set the cutting depth. And to set the cutting depth, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the thumb knob here, and this will allow us to set this depth stop. So by loosening that, we're able to set that depth stop to different levels. And what I typically do is I use a shim. Here I've got a 1/4 inch piece. I put my plow plane on my workpiece, and then I fit my shim into there, and I lower my depth stop, and that will give me a 1/4 inch because I have a 1/4 inch shim underneath that. So now with everything adjusted, I think we're finally ready to use our plow plane. So now with our plane adjusted, we're ready to make a groove. But you might think that we would start here on this side of the board and push our way all the way along the length. But that's not what we want to do, because you'll struggle here if you start here, because you have to push all this material out of the way. Instead, what you want to do is you want to begin over here. So we start at the end of our board. We slowly work our way back.